Well, the Hollywood weirdos are at it again, showing how out of touch with everything they are. Led by Mark Hamill, of course, George Takei, the usual suspects. All these people are failed actors who just can't get anything going in their careers anymore. And so they've turned to politics as a way to stay relevant. And I think these guys are on the dole. If you look at their accounts, you wouldn't even know that they're really affiliated with Star Wars or Star Trek or anything. It's just all angry, bitter hate all the time. And so they're going to be spewing this now on a live stream tonight. We'll see what we can do about doing an EFAP of that on our live show. But it's going to be bringing the who's who of just the worst of sci-fi fandom. And we're going to cover this right now. You'll see all the names involved. I don't think you'll be disappointed because you'll probably be like, that's about to be expected. But this is what's going on. They're doing some big Kamala Harris event tonight. And, of course, it's going to be the craziest, boomerist cringe you've ever seen in your whole life. Let's enjoy it and laugh at these people. My name's John Delarose, everybody. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We are making science fiction great again over here. And I am an author, a #1 bestseller, and I have a great trilogy for you that you'll enjoy if you don't want to deal with any of this stuff. Because it's just set in space. It doesn't have to do with any of this stuff. We just had fun. So if you like Star Trek, Star Wars, Babylon 5, this is going to be a great trilogy for you. The Orician War, Stars Entwined. Go check this out on Amazon. It's available on ebook, print, and audio. It's a spy thriller in space. This is the type of stuff that these guys don't produce anymore, and you will enjoy it. It's classic science fiction at its finest. Thank you so much for reading. I appreciate you guys for being there. So, yeah, this has been unveiled. It's a Geeks and Nerds for Harris, and they've been promoting this over the last month. You can see a lot of the names on here. Stacey Abrams, of course, right? The ultimate grifter out of all grifters. Ran for Georgia governor, failed. They put her into Star Trek Discovery as the president, of course, because they just wanted to virtue signal. And that's the top of the list. Sean Astin from Lord of the Rings. LeVar Burton, who loves to go and complain about how he's oppressed because he's black, even though he's a Hollywood star. Great. Felicia Day, you might remember her from back in the day, kind of. She was kind of propped up very, very weirdly. She was in these bit parts in the background for a lot of things, and then just suddenly was the face of geekdom with her and Will Wheaton. And it's what's going on here? Where'd these people come from? And that promptly went away, but I guess she's still out there doing her thing. Jonathan Frakes, Commander Riker himself. That's kind of surprising. I'm actually a little surprised that he's on this list. Mark Hamill, who's not surprising at all. He's one of the worst shills out there. We got more Aaron Moriarty from The Boys. We know that The Boys is an anti-Trump allegory, that Amazon's made it into this just terrible political thing that's ruined the show. Bill Nye, the fake scientist. Yeah. Oh, gosh, he's not relevant anymore. Robert Picardo from Star Trek Voyager. We've covered his stuff, his crazy anti-Trump comment over the last few weeks here. Very sad. Tim Russ from Voyager as well. Jerry Ryan from Voyager as well. George Takei, who's, of course, just made there's Will Wheaton. I knew he'd be on the list. Of course he would be. The most irrelevant person out there has to get his name out there again. But there's more. I mean, they have a whole schedule set up with this stuff. And it's being promoted. There's a couple comic book creators on there, and as a comic book writer and the most trusted name in comics news, I saw this earlier today, and she was Gail Simone was tweeting about this. She's currently writing Uncanny X-Men. Gail's been being propped up, and she was the only comic writer I saw in here for a bit. We got Brad Metzler on there as well, who kind of dipped into comics from novels a little bit. It's interesting how she is the representative of the comic book industry at this point. And I've seen this kind of building up over the last year. She got an Action Comics Superman run real quick on for DC. She got given Uncanny X-Men. She's writing a James Bond thing for, I think, Dynamite. She's writing She-Spawn for Todd McFarlane in Image Comics. So Gail Simone's being propped into the stateswoman of comics, and I think this is a push and an attempt to solidify that on the political angle as it needs to be done, because of course the comic industry is 100% extreme leftist at this point, just being a political operative of the DNC and not actually producing fun comic books anymore, much like Hollywood's doing on the other way around. So you see the hours and the live stream updates here. There's a California state representative out there. Yay, California. That's who this is for, I guess. Comic writer Gail Simone. We got Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, Felicia Day, and of course they have to. And then we've got Supernatural and The Boys cast. Wow, how exciting! It's a veritable has-beens. George Takei and vote forward on Letter Writing 101. Letter Writing 101. Gosh, that sounds terrible. And Political Science Theater 3000. Geez. Stranger Things actors. Musical performance from Space Ghost. More Supernatural. MSNBC. Sean Astin then up. Somebody from the Hunger Games. I mean, like they're really pulling out the stops, but it's all a bunch of like really has-been nobodies at this point who are just struggling for any relevancy, and that's really what this is. That's Hollywood. Like, I mean, you've got to push the political agenda to be out there. If you don't, I'm like I would love to hear from the people who get blacklisted, right? And I mentioned this on the guy's Twitter feed here. I said, like, I'd do Trekkies for Trump, but anyone who was involved with Trek and actually would vote for Trump would get blacklisted from Hollywood and suffer life ruination from how awful these people act. And that's the truth of what goes on in Hollywood. They always complain about fascism and all this stuff. But if you speak out at all, your career's over, and it's known. And so anybody who might be on the opposite side has to be extremely silent, or sometimes they even virtue signal the opposite way just to be like, I'm one of you guys, and still get jobs. I mean, it is that bad out there. And the comic industry is no better. It really isn't. The publishing industry also no better. I mean, that's why we have to publish ourselves over here. I'm completely blacklisted just because I spoke out. And this is exactly what happens to anybody. It is a campaign to destroy you once you're known that you're not on this team. So Brad Metzler said something that's going to be live on YouTube to make it easier to watch. And we might, like I said, EFAP this, probably not tonight because I'm busy with my family and don't have time to do this stuff in the evening. But maybe I'll do it on the channel later. I got my comment removed. Vote for Trump and reject Hollywood. Oh, sad. Very sad. They're so freedom of speech and so scared of fascism that they can't handle any dissent, and that's who these people are. So this is live in 7 hours. And just in case you wondered, Mark Hamill out there, he says, I proudly qualify as a geek and a nerd, and I very much look forward to demonstrating both qualities in support of Harris Walls 2024. I hope you all will join us, including the highly underestimated dweebs, misfits, and loners. So I guess they're admitting that losers are the only people who vote for Kamala Harris, dweebs, misfits, and loners. I don't know why they identify like this. Like, why would you do that to yourself? This is who they are, though. And you can see that everything he talks about, he is always my Batman. Okay, well, he's saying something different now. But here's Stephen King, who's going out there. Stephen King and Mark Hamill following each other. All these guys do is post anti-Trump stuff all day long, and it's absolutely crazy. Here we are, 7 days till she's 47. Oh. And that's why I think, what a cringe post. I feel like, did he actually even write that? Like, is this fed to him by the Kamala Harris campaign? Because he posts so much of this cringe that you just have to wonder, why is he doing it? What's the intention here? He actually has their logo as his banner here. And that's why I think he's got to be a paid shill at this point. And George Takei from Star Trek, if you want to get into both Star Trek and Star Wars coming together, that's all they do too. New polling, we are poised to make history and defeat MAGA. I mean, let's see. Disability access, and very weird stuff. Very weird stuff. J.D. Vance dragged after he's caught overtly lying. I mean, this is just the entire feeds of these guys. They got millions of followers, so I can imagine that the DNC just paid them. I mean, that's what it's got to be. And now they've got an event together to get it all done together for the Geeks and Nerds for Harris, and really just show how nakedly, unabashedly cringe they are at this juncture. You know that this is going to just be a train wreck waiting to happen. And we'll have fun with it because that's what we do over here. And mock these people because they need it. They need to know that, their little echo chambers in Hollywood and in publishing and in comics, they might have gotten everybody out of there, but normal Americans just hate this crap. And we reject it, and we reject them as a consequence. All right. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out my great trilogy, starting with The Stars Entwined on Amazon. It's on ebook, print, and audio. That's in the description below. Thank you guys for being there.